What's going on, everybody? It is that time of the month again, which... The hell was that? What's going on, everybody? It is that time of the month again, which means it is once again time to unbox the latest shipment from our friends over at Video Games Monthly. What is Video Games Monthly, you might ask? I'm going to be cutting this open while I'm talking about this spiel, because we're going to see if I can do it at the same time. Chances are I'm going to get distracted and not do it right, or I'm just going to kind of go on a tangent like I'm doing right now. But what is Video Games Monthly? Well, Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service where you are able to get 3, 4, 5, or 10 games shipped to you every month. Now, these are retro games that you don't have to return. This isn't a rental service. This is an ownership program. You get to keep them. And prices are pretty good. Nice thing about Video Games Monthly as well is you're able to curate your list. So in a perfect world, you're not going to get duplicate games. Now, there are cases where it does happen, and the best thing about Video Games Monthly, my favorite thing about Video Games Monthly, is their amazing customer service. Whenever I have had an issue, I've gotten on the horn with them, and they have taken care of it almost immediately. Things have been fixed, things have been sent, and things have been taken care of. But this is now free from its priority mail prison. We are going to crack this guy open, find out what's inside. I'm going to look right down the camera lens and tell you what I get. We're going to find out at the exact same time. I don't look at this ahead of time. I was accused today, I tell you, by a friend of mine, that I actually look in the boxes before I film these. I don't. I like to be just as shocked as you are. That's why I've said some dumb stuff when I'm unboxing these games, because otherwise, I actually do kind of like to sound a little bit intelligent. But what do you say? Let's crack this guy open. We got a little bit, like you can actually, it's like the curvature of the Earth, you know? There's actually an arc over the top here. Sorry, flat earthers. We're gonna crack this guy open. We're gonna find out what's inside. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. All right, first and foremost, we feel around. We have, that's a slap bracelet. That is, it's a Mario slap bracelet. Okay, that's great. Adding that to the normal fashion, it's a slap bracelet. I haven't seen a slap bracelet in years. It's going on right on the tripod. All right, so we have bubble wrap. We have a card. We have some other stuff here. Feels like only one card, which means this is probably just a social card. 3, 2, 1. It is a social card. What this says is if you share your experience with Video Games Monthly on social media, you will be entered into a chance for winning a 3-up box, which means 3 free games coming to you just for sharing your experience on social media. It also tells you to update your games, because if you don't and you get duplicates, that ain't on them, that's on you. All right, here we go. Feeling around. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, first up, that's Famicom, that's Genesis. All right, let's start. We'll just go. We're not even gonna try to figure out a hint type. 3, 2, 1. This is a Genesis game. It is Sword of Vermilion. Cool. I've actually never played this one. Let us check out Sword of Vermilion now on the Sega Genesis.
First off, holy crap. Holy crap. Like, this, holy crap. This is the Sword of Vermilion. If you have not played the Sword of Vermilion is a classic RPG for the Sega Genesis. It blends not only overhead world exploration and first-person kind of dungeon crawl elements, it also tosses in some action RPG elements, kind of like Zelda, as well as some neat map tracking, and I'll be honest, a little bit clunky menu interface, but this was put out in 1990, so I can forgive it for that. But this game's awesome. I actually didn't play this one when I was younger, though. I played it originally on the Sega Genesis Classics collection on the Switch, and I couldn't believe how awesome this game was, and I was kind of upset that I had missed out on it when I was a kid, because this is exactly the type of game that I would have really loved. Now, like I said, it does show its age in some places. The interface is a little clunky. The combat is a little funky and not really, I'm going to say, great or intuitive. It's a little bit wonky when you first get tossed into battle because you're kind of immediately surrounded by enemies and it's an action RPG, so you can get swarmed real quick and you can lose your hit points real quick, which kind of sucks. But the game is awesome, and I can't believe that I got this in this box. This game's worth $30. That's almost the entire purchase price of what I put into the box every month is just this one game. I'm absolutely blown away. I cannot thank the guys at Video Games Monthly enough for sending this to me. The Sega Genesis has become probably my favorite console to collect for, because there's so many games. While this is my favorite 16-bit console, there were so many games that I just never had the opportunity to play. So getting stuff like this now that I didn't have a chance to play when I was younger means the world to me. So huge thank you to them for sending this one along. Ecstatic that I won the lucky draw to get this one, and really, really stoked to add a classic RPG to my Genesis collection.
All right, up next. That's a straight up NES game. All right, let's go. NES or Famicom? We'll do NES. All right, NES. 3, 2, 1. Stealth something or other. Stealth something or other. Let's take. I have no idea what this game is. It's a flying game on the NES, so chances are not good.
Spoilers.
But we're gonna take a look at it right now. Let's head over and take a look at Stealth subtitle.
All right, so trying not to be negative about this one. I'm not a fan of flight sims, and I'm especially not a fan of flight sims on the NES because it's just not a console that's made for him. It isn't designed to be intuitive. It's not designed to make sense of flight controls. It's just not good. And Stealth ATF here is, at least I think it's ATF. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't really do enough research to know what the subtitle is, and the cartridge is downstairs when I'm recording this, so we're just gonna make an assumption that it's Stealth ATF. And if it's not, I apologize to Activision and all the big-time stealth fans out there. So, the positive things about this game. Soundtrack's great. The first 150 times you hear it, it repeats a lot, but it's actually really well done. Graphics are spectacular. The gameplay is fast, but that's kind of as far as I can go with it. It's not terribly fun. It's very clunky because it is a flight sim on the NES, and it's not really optimized for the controller or for the console. And I wish that weren't the case, but it's just not a game for me. It's not something that I'm going to look forward to playing ever again. This is going to be sent down the road because I honestly do not care if I ever play this one again. Stealth is worth $5.75. If you're a big fan of flight sim games, you can look to buy this one at the Illinois Game Con later this year, because I'll have it on sale there for probably $5.
All right, there you have it. Stealth mystery game. We're gonna talk about this one. Label looks really good. Pins look good. You know, these are two clean games. All right, next up, this is a Famicom game. All right, Famicom. 3, 2, 1. Another Dragon Ball Z game. This is Dragon Ball Z 3. I got a Dragon Ball game a couple of months ago. It was really fun. It was Dragon. Insert the name here, Jay, down here at the bottom, because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's actually a game that released in the States that got reskinned and would have been great if it released under the Dragon Ball name, but this is pretty cool. Let's check out Dragon Ball Z 3 on the Famicom.
All right, Dragon Ball Z lovers, get your pitchforks ready because we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Z 3 Resen Jinzo Ningen for the Famicom. I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z. I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan. Like, I know some of the characters, like that's Goku, and then there's Vegeta, and the green dude is Piccolo, and the man with no nose is Krillin. But as far as like knowing the story, I got nothing. So it doesn't help me that this is all in Japanese, so I have no idea what's going on. So we're gonna go by the Dragon Ball Wiki, and I'm gonna kind of give you the overview of what the game is. This apparently takes place during the Frieza saga, and it ends in the Imperfect Cell saga. So if that means something to you, there you go. The action in the game is pretty cool though. Like if I understand it correctly, and I'm gonna find an English translation for this, probably on CD Romance, toss this on an SD card, and be able to play this in English on the Retron 5. But if I understand this correctly, it's kind of an RPG, kind of a deck battler, where you actually have to choose like different abilities that you have, and you'll use those attacks against your opponent. And the animations are big and bombastic and loud and fun, and in short, it's a Dragon Ball Z game. This is 2 Dragon Ball games in a row I've gotten. The first one featured the original series, this one is the Dragon Ball Z series, and neither one of them has been bad. I'm actually really, really happy with these. Dragon Ball Z isn't too bad on value, to be honest with you. It's worth $11.99, so while not something that's super, super expensive, it's a nice thing to add to the Famicom collection, and I'm having a lot of fun with the Famicom games that Video Games Monthly sends me regularly. This is an absolutely welcome addition to the collection.
One of the things I love about Famicom carts is not only the unique shape, but like the colorful artwork everywhere. Like this is so cool. I love it. All right, disc-based. It's GameCube. I can feel the notch in the spine. All right, here we go. GameCube. 3, 2, 1. The Chronicles of Narnia. What? It's a licensed game on the GameCube. This is going to go one of two ways. This is either going to be really good, or really bad. There's not really a middle ground. Like, every once in a while you get a very middling licensed game, but chances are it's either going to be great or it's going to suck. Hoping for great? Let's find out.
All right, longtime viewers of the channel will know that I am a fan of licensed video games, despite the fact that most of them are horrific, most of them suck, and most of them are terrible. There's always some kind of surprise along the way, and the Chronicles of Narnia: The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a surprising game. I will admit, when I first booted this up, I expected the worst. I didn't think this was going to be good. You saw this when I actually unboxed it. I said, this is probably going to be terrible. It's not. It's made by Traveler's Tale, and if that name sounds familiar to you, that's because those are the guys behind the fantastic LEGO games. It's a shockingly competent 3D action game. It's really fun. Each of the children has a different ability. You start during the Blitz in London, and eventually you transition to going to Narnia and exploring that, and going through this fantastical, magical realm. It's a shockingly competent game. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's some kind of crazy hidden gem, or everyone needs to rush out and buy it because it's scary good. It's not. It's an average game, but when I expected this to be awful, I'm super happy at how much fun it is. Chronicles of Narnia: The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe isn't going to burn down the house with how much money it's worth, because it's only worth $8.63, but the gameplay more than makes up for the low value. This is a fantastic one, and hey, anytime you add a complete-in-box GameCube game to the list, that's going to work.
Lovely enough. This is a complete-in-box copy of the Chronicles of Narnia. The case has some stickers on it, but that doesn't really bother me. It just kind of shows the history of where it's been. All right, let's check out the final one now. This is a clamshell case, so this means it's either Master System or Genesis. This is in box, so all right, we're going to close our eyes, toss the box away, and 3, 2, 1. Pro Wrestling. All right, cool. All right, so this is... for the longest time, I had Sega Master System on my list, and I wasn't getting any games, and now this is, like, I think 4 months in a row I've gotten a Master System game. Complete in box. Love it. Let's take a look at Pro Wrestling.
Always a true treat to get a complete in-box Sega Master System game, and really stoked to get this one because I do love professional wrestling, and this is one that I had on my wish list, so... getting this complete in box in my Video Games Monthly shipment was a boon. It was a huge win for me. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's a brilliant game. I think it plays a little rough, but there's some things about this I really like. First off, I love the look. I love that we have these super deformed chibi versions of like the Legion of Doom and the kind of Dollar Tree versions of Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and stuff like that, and I think that's fantastic. It's a great representation of what pro wrestling looked like in the 80s, just run through a super cute filter and... made to be cutesy as hell. The gameplay's a little rough, like you have to do a lot with very few buttons, and that's okay. And I think that there's something here where the more I play it, the more I'm going to enjoy it, because I will say the first time I played pro wrestling when I was a kid on the NES, didn't really like that, but as I've gotten older and the more I've played it and I've kind of understood the nuance behind it, I really, really like it. I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm very, very happy with this one. Always appreciate, like I said, a complete in-box game. Manual is in great shape. The box is in great shape. The cartridge is pristine. Complete in box Pro Wrestling is worth $13.11. Really, really happy with this one.
Like, as a professional wrestling fan, I am super stoked to add these games to my collection. This is awesome. I've never played this one, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. You'll see my thoughts in the video that just aired because, yeah, I don't go film and then come back and film. So yeah, let's get all this stuff totaled up. I'm gonna run away now. For you, it will be seconds. For me, it'll be a few minutes. I'm going to get all this stuff totaled up, and we'll find out what my value was this month.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
So did I come out on top this month? Yeah. Yeah, by a considerable amount. Sword of Vermilion being a $30 loose cart is pretty awesome. No complaints here, not going to lie to you, but everything was just really nice, and everything looks like it's in great shape. So, stoked to add some awesome stuff to my collection. Let me know what game you think is the big hit this month. Check out the playlist on screen right now if you want to see some previous Video Games Monthly unboxings. And until next time, stay square.